Hi there, a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining the live chat. Good to be with you. Last week we missed one day of live chats. So hopefully this week we'll uh, abide by the schedule, 3 day a week live chats. Thank you for joining. Let me welcome the participants. Then I want to share with you my impression of the appearance of Ethiopian PM. His three-part interview aired. Uh, Fourth part due to be aired tomorrow, I think. What happened? Why did he suddenly decide to record such long interviews? Who is he addressing? Let me welcome the participants first, then uh, we'll talk about it. Peace and Love, first viewer who joined and commented. Warm welcome to you, Peace and Love. Peace and Love is a member too. Special welcome, Peace and Love. Dark Star says, greetings, Sajid. Any response from TPLF, TDF on TPF being led by Vedi and Tiro? Well, Sarah did a video today. Sarah told you that TPLF has written a letter to international community. The letter mentions that federal government is training anti-TPLF groups and anti-Tigray groups. TPLF is not in the mood to recognize TPF as a legitimate player. Uh, That's what they have said so far. No direct statement. Isaac Ibrahim says, hello, Sajid, Eid Mubarak. Thank you, Isaac. Said Ibrahim, S joined too. I think in Ethiopia, Muslims are celebrating Eid ul Adha, but in Pakistan, India will celebrate tomorrow. Musi Haptis joined, DSG here. He says, what's your take on Trump versus Elon? Not surprising. I mean, Elon and Trump both are the same types of personalities. Uh, they talk too much. They talk too much, and such people are bound to, as we were difficult to get along with, I think. Real Hidden Light says, hey Sajid, any news on the travel ban to Tigray? Well, it was partially lifted. I told you a few days ago that some Tigrayans, foreigners, they managed to enter Tigray. It's not fully in place. Umar Aide says, by the way, I wonder Pakistani its priority F-17, Thunder and J-10. Mihari vendor join. Welcome, Mihari. We have Volde Bazizio, AFNF, Volde says. I don't think so. I think it's part of Skandar Naga Fano. Sam 3 says, greetings, sir. What's your take on current developments involving the armed struggle in the Amhara region? Do you think the leaders have become too embroiled in their own egos too much? Well, Sam, when I say that one of the main obstacles to Fano struggle is their lack of internal unity, people start accusing me of being anti-Amhara, anti-Fano. I've been saying that for the last 2 years. In scores of videos, I've mentioned this one. Regular viewers would back my claim. And the ongoing fighting between AFNF and AFPO in Shoa is very deadly fighting. They're bloodthirsty for each other, accusing each other of working for a prosperity party. How can these groups even dream of achieving their goals if they fight against each other in such a ruthless manner? Ethio joined, Fitsum Kidana Mariam. No S, so many people here, you're not alone. Walde says, is Russian army begin retaliation? Yes, they have launched an operation today, I think. Said Ibrahim says, audio. What's wrong with audio? Alex T. Faisal Samuel Atoy joined. Welcome, Faisal. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you, Bashe, for saying Eid Mubarak. Kaliyab Kibriyab here. Dark Stazadi is good. Hailu RFN says, is the PM on election campaign? Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Let me start, viewers. I'll speak for a few minutes, then your questions and comments. By the way, I am doing some work on a topic which hopefully I'll disclose in tomorrow's live chat. Exclusive information about the Prime Minister's new plan. Uh, he has hired some people. You can say I got information from the horse's mouth, you can say. But I'm still working on it, so I'll break this news hopefully in tomorrow's live chat. Now, coming back to tonight's live chat. Why is that the Prime Minister is suddenly appearing in long interviews? Three parts of the interviews released so far. Each part is around 70-minute long. Fourth part is due to be released tomorrow. I have watched all the three parts. Luckily, English subtitles were available too. So it was easy for me to understand what he was talking about. But important question is, why is there suddenly he's launching himself in media? Who is he addressing? Main question is, who is he addressing? Is he addressing Ethiopians? Is he addressing the educated class in Ethiopia? Or is he addressing someone else? Well, if you ask me for my candid opinion, firstly, he speaks too much. I mean, in response to every question, he starts a philosophical answer. I mean, if host asks a question about the need for new leaders, young leaders, he starts explaining what is the importance of youths in politics. If host asks a question about reforms, he starts talking about the actual reforms, talks about the importance of reforms, and it takes lots of time actually coming to the point. Host is asking very few questions. He's speaking and speaking. He has lots of figures which he's sharing. But the settings of the interview and the message, everything is making me reach this conclusion that he's not addressing Ethiopian people. Perhaps you might not agree with me, but I get this impression that this four-part interview is not meant for a poor Ethiopian. I mean, a poor Ethiopian who is battling with the cost of living, is not interested in knowing the GDP. He's not interested in knowing the comparative figures of exports. He's not interested in knowing that Prosperity Party is preparing young leaders. He's comparing his daily expenses of today and daily expenses of a few months or a few years ago. He's making these comparisons. The Prime Minister is not addressing Ethiopians. I think he is addressing the international community. He's addressing the global powers, which will definitely play a role in the next election. Election campaign has begun. When Jawar launched himself a few months ago, suddenly in social media, I said electoral campaign had begun. Some people disagreed back then. I said, no, Jawar's start of criticism of Prosperity Party was the start of his online electoral campaign. And Jawar is sending his message to Ethiopians, basically, while he is contacting foreigners too. And Jawar has been working on uniting opposition. I got this information. He's been trying to establish a platform for opposition parties, for everyone. He wants this platform to contact international players, diplomats, to put pressure upon the Ethiopian Prime Minister. At the same time, he's trying to create unrest in Ethiopia. He wants people to march, to protest. He's working on multi-pronged strategy. Abiy knows it very well. That is why no protest is allowed in Ethiopia. No one is allowed. Whether the protesters are doctors, teachers, political workers, no one is allowed. Why? He knows that if one protest starts, it will turn into a big anti-government movement because there is definite frustration. So Abiy is firstly countering Jawar through this four-part interview. Secondly, he is addressing the international community. He's telling the international community that he is the best choice for them. While Jawar, others are launching himself as alternative, Abiy is telling the international community that I am the most reliable man. I am building a stable country. International community is concerned about instability in the Horn of Africa. Sudan, war. Somalia, a warlike situation. Eritrea, not listening to the Western US. South Sudan, on the verge of a civil war, economic collapse there. The only country which is trying to create stability, he claims that this country is Ethiopia. And I am the one who is bringing stability to the country while I am launching the reforms you asked me to implement. You saw that he spoke a lot about exports, about reforms, economic reforms, macroeconomic reforms, IMF, World Bank. He tried to prove as if macroeconomic reforms are Ethiopian agenda. But everyone knows that the macroeconomic reforms were the prerequisite for Ethiopia to get a bailout package from the IMF and World Bank. So Abiy is opening up Ethiopian economy. Foreigners are entering Ethiopia. Foreign businessmen, Citibank of the US is in talks to enter Ethiopian banking sector. EPRDF for years resisted opening the Ethiopian economy. They were against liberalization, I think. They managed to keep Ethiopia free from external economic influence. Yes, they relied on aid too. They didn't open up the economy. Abiy has made a big decision. Last year decision of opening the economy was what West wanted, what US wanted. US companies, Western companies, now they're eyeing opportunities in Ethiopia because every sector of economy is being opened by the Prime Minister. Retail sector, export sector, import sector, banking sector. Even foreigners are being allowed to get land on lease. And more sectors are being opened. This is what he's telling. He's saying that I am the best man for you. I am implementing your economic agenda. My country is progressing too, and I am the best choice for you. Uh, uh, is Abiy acceptable to the Western US? Well, if you ask me, yes. He has done something which was not done by governments in the past. Liberalization of Ethiopian economy. He is more acceptable. Is West concerned about conflicts in Ethiopia? West is concerned less about the conflicts in Ethiopia. It is more concerned about its economic interests. Abiy is agreeing with Western economic policies. The country is in the hands of IMF and World Bank. And will Ethiopia be ever able to free itself from IMF and World Bank? That remains to be seen. As long as it's in the hands of IMF and World Bank, it can easily be manipulated. So people like Jawar, and by the way, the Prime Minister is working in a very smart manner. By smart, I do not mean that what he's doing is commendable. I mean, externally, he's listening to what the West and the US want, opening up of the economy. Internally, he's dividing everyone. Just analyze the situation in Ethiopia. Let's start from Somali region. ONLF split in two. One led by Abdirahman Ero, Abdirahman Made, other led by Kalbi Dahaga. PP backing Kalbi Dahaga. Abdirahman Made out of Ethiopia. Kalbi Dahaga led ONLF is going to be recognized as a party by Nebe, and this ONLF will contest election. Somali region. Oromia. OL is split. Maro leading, and the other one, the commander who split, Sunny and Agasa. Sunny and Agasa split. Sunny and Agasa is leading the fight against Maro. Ola split. And interestingly, he managed to create split between Ola and OLF, Ola and OFC. Ola, if you remember a few days ago, issued a very strong statement criticizing the Oromo Liberation Front and Oromo Federalist Congress. So he divided, he dove a wedge between Ola and OFC, Ola and OLF. He created internal divisions in Oromo Liberation Army, Oromia. Amhara, whether he is to blame or Fano groups to blame, but you know what is happening in Shoa. Skandarnaga, Makatao killing Dasalan fighters, killing AFNF fighters. In Wollo too, they're fighting. And tomorrow I'll break another news about a division between two main players in the Amhara region. He is the one who is the beneficiary of this division. Tigray, TPLF, fighting for restoration of its status, its eligibility gone. Getachew-backed Solidarity is being recognized as a party. It will contest election. TPLF now getting closer to Eritrea. So internally, in Tigray, in Amhara, in Oromia, in Somali, in four main regions of Ethiopia, the Prosperity Party has created internal divisions. There is no joint opposition to counter the Prosperity Party, counter the ruling party. He's creating divisions internally. Externally, he is selling his image as if he is a man who is very competent. He's a man who is very liberal, a man who believes in working with the West, working with the US, a man who is not, who does not want to close the economy, keep it closed like Eritrea. So he is welcoming the West and US to continue cooperating with him. Overall, the Prime Minister is in a very good position. My analysis is neutral. I don't believe in sharing biased analysis. If you ask me neutrally, I think he's very strong. All the efforts to weaken him could not succeed. Internally, he has divided everyone. Externally, he's acceptable. There is no alternative so far being considered by the West to replace him. Now, what should have been done by the opposition was not done. I mean, still less than a year remaining, and so far, no joint opposition has been created. Now we are hearing that opposition politicians are holding talks. Jawar, politicians in Amhara, others, they're holding talks. Less than a year remaining, now they are holding talks to form an opposition platform. Will they succeed? No one knows. Because you saw what OFC said. Instead of demanding free, fair, transparent election, OLF and OFC, after a long meeting, 5-day long meeting, talked about the status of Addis Ababa, talked about Oromia, Somali region, border dispute. You see how narrow-minded, how short-sighted these politicians are. They could not, they're not foreseeing what is going to happen at the start of 2026. And the election, next election is very crucial, viewers. Why? Because the topic I'm working on, which hopefully I'll break the news about in tomorrow's live chat, it will have far-reaching impact on the future of Ethiopia. I don't want to speak more on it. But so PM's new move is that he is addressing international community. He's telling them, I am a liberal. I am willing to listen to you, willing to accommodate you. I am implementing your reforms. I am a leader who is working wonders internally. People love me. Don't consider any alternative to me. I am the best choice in current situation for you. Thank you, A, for buying super chat stickers. Thank you, Shafo. Shafo, is war imminent now? Well, war is not imminent, but the parties are on a collision course. I mean, no reconciliation, no de escalation, no diffusion of tensions. So there are signs that conflict could erupt. I am more concerned about situation between Tigray and Amhara, about the status of Volcaid. EPLF status is not being restored. If its status is not restored, it might make a move towards Volcaid, I think, where Volcaid is very complex. It won't be between just TPLF and Amhara, TPLF versus Fano. So I am more concerned about Volcaid than what is happening between Eritrea and Ethiopia. War is not imminent, but all signs are there that if there is no de-escalation, these people will fight. These leaders will fight again. Escol says, Abi releasing Zamine is the origin of Fano divisions. Well, Escol, did you watch my video the day Zamine Kasi was released from prison? I mean, when Fano were fighting against security forces, when Fano commanders are being hunted down by the security forces, Zamine Kasi was released from prison. Why? He was launched against Skandar. People knew that Zamine will try to push Skandar out of Gojam. And Skandar joined Fano at a very difficult time. Those times were very difficult. Skandar organized Fano. Zamine should have worked with Skandar, I believe. He should have accommodated Skandar. They fought, and that was the start of divisions. Divisions still ongoing. Skandar and Zamine still fighting. Thank you, Mihari, for buying the super chat sticker. He says, this so-called PM is a puppet of the West and has ravished Ethiopia, and he will continue to do so. Well, Mihari, if these politicians, opposition politicians, party know that PM is trying to divide them, that West is backing PM, question is, what is their strategy? What are they doing? They're so incompetent, they cannot see the writing on the wall. Writing on the wall is that if they remain split, Abiy is going to sweep in the next election. If they don't mobilize international opinion in their favor, Abiy will steal the next election too. Are they blind to the reality of the writing on the wall? Why can't they unite? Problem is that they are working to protect very narrow ethnic agendas. They never come out of it. They never think about Ethiopia as a whole. They never talk about the country. I mean, they're more focused on what is happening in the region where they are based. Pijo Bianchi joined. Welcome, Pijo. Simon says, shouldn't we be focusing on regime change in Eritrea? Well, regime change in Eritrea should not be taken lightly. If you work on regime change in Eritrea, Eritrea will work on regime change in Ethiopia. Basically, it's declaration of war. Let me just wrap up this chat, uh, giving my analysis, my conclusion. You can agree, disagree with it. What should be done? What should be done? This is the question that what should the Ethiopian people, what should the Ethiopian politicians, what should they do? It's up to them to decide. I am an outsider. I am not in Ethiopia, but I talk to hundreds of people on daily basis. I mean, I don't know what is happening in Pakistan. I don't know, but but I know what is happening in Addis Ababa, in Oromia, in Amhara, in Tigray. All day I talk to people from there. People are helpless. If you think that people will march and they should rise against PP, not possible. PP is using brutal force. It won't let anyone come out. It won't allow any dissent. That's clear. Yes, if people are willing to die, they can come out. What is disappointing is the role of leaders. I think people should put pressure upon their leaders, opposition politicians. If they want to be leaders of political parties, they must lead from the front. They must make extraordinary decisions. They must be ready to go to prisons. If they're not ready, they should quit politics. Firstly. Secondly, if the leaders, opposition politicians are not ready to join hands, if they're not ready to unite, they should quit politics. If they're not doing anything good for the country, doing nothing good for their people, just protecting their power, people should call for unity. Instead of blindly supporting those who aggravate conflicts, who aggravate ethnic, regional, border conflicts, people should support those politicians who want alliances, who want reconciliation, who wants contacts, engagements between different ethnic groups and joint agenda formation. This is the only way forward to counter the prosperity party's plans. Otherwise, the way Prime Minister is making progress means in terms of making himself acceptable abroad and dividing the opposition. The way he's making progress, he is bound to get himself elected very easily in the next election. People are hoping that Fano will reach Bahirdar, Fano will reach Addis Ababa, Ola will encircle Addis Ababa, TPLF and Eritrea will march towards Addis Ababa. And this is what politicians are hoping to, instead of pinning their hopes on such uh, ambitious, imaginative thinking. I think they should try to work like politicians, start electoral campaign online, build alliances, and try to form a joint front against the ruling prosperity party. This is the way forward. If Tigrayans and Amharas remain divided, if Oromos and Somali politicians remain divided, if Gaidu and Joa don't sit together, if ONLF and OFC don't sit together, if TPLF and Amhara parties don't sit together, they won't be able to counter PP. PP is the most organized and the most powerful political entity in Ethiopia today. It is very organized. There are no serious differences in the party. Dissenting voices have been silenced. Abiy in full command. He is leading the party like he's leading military. I mean, in military, you cannot say no. If you say no, you are bound to be punished. Same is happening in PP2. He's ruling with an iron fist. To counter this PP strength, there should be the formation of a broad, multi-ethnic, multi-regional political allies. Will it happen? Can it happen? That's the main. Let's wait and see. Someone is writing the same comment again and again while buying a super chat sticker saying, Sajid, leave Ethiopians alone, especially Amhara. Well, I am not at anyone's throat. I am just in Pakistan sharing my views with you. Why should you be influenced by my views if you don't take me seriously? Let people listen, I think. Let people decide. And let foreigners understand your issues too. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, if Al Jazeera, I've seen, and can cover entire world, and you people love to watch them, watch my views and news too. I am not forcing anyone to agree with me. Hopefully tomorrow I'll break an important news about the PM's mega plan, which he's working on. I think I should leave now. I spoke too much tonight, and people now will definitely start a campaign against me, accuse me of being on the payroll of Eritrea, payroll of EPL, payroll of Joar, etc. I'm ready for that. Thanks for watching, viewers. I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, bye bye.